Welcome everyone who joined us today for our session on awards that IIBA presents for 2025. This is an information session and it's also your opportunity to ask questions for our valuable guests here on the call. I will introduce them a bit later. So I will start with a brief overview. What is Business Analysis Award and what categories do we have? Yeah, oops. And then talk a little bit about the nomination process. I won't go into too much details because there is a very well documented process on our website. So I'll get the link for you and outline the judging and sponsorship opportunities, key dates. Don't worry, there's nothing happening tomorrow, so we've got enough time. And then I hope we'll get enough time. So aiming for about 30 minutes for our question answer session where we would ask our panelists to introduce themselves and then come with any wild questions to them about the awards, and they're happy to answer. They're here with us tonight. Thanks, dear panelists. So I'll move on to introducing the awards and what was the purpose of it. So the IIBA Australia, together with New Zealand chapter, collaboratively created that program of awards 3 years ago, where we want to recognize the efforts of the excellence in business analysis. It's very important to um, for anyone who's working in the field. It's very important to get this recognition across the region. And this is to celebrate outstanding contribution that us business analysts give across two countries, to highlight the excellence, to inspire and promote professional growth for those individuals nominating for awards, and in general promote the value of business analysis. It is still a profession that is not sometimes highlighted that much. So we are the drivers of the successful outcomes for organization, and we deserve to be recognized. So that was the reason behind the award. It is all run by volunteers. All our judges are volunteers and are putting their time and effort to select the best business analysts across Australia and New Zealand. The program is run um, with 5 categories. So I'll quickly touch based on the categories. But before I go there is a link to the award page. I will post in the chat as well, where you can find all the full information about those awards categories. Okay, so we move on to the categories in no particular order, but we will start from the Emerging Business Analyst of the Year award. This is a great category to recognize, even if you're reasonably new to the field of business analysis. If you've moved from a different area or you're just starting your career, you to be able to nominate for that category, you should be within the career for approximately 1 to 5 years. So to be recognized as an emergent, and we would look at your development and growth, not just the experience that you've got, but more the potential of becoming a great business analyst. So if you're interested in all the selection criteria, they are listed when you nominate, they are listed in that nomination form for you. That category is sponsored by PM Partners and has been sponsored since we started 3 years ago. The next one is for experienced business analysts and even the actual leaders of the business analysis. This is called Business Analysis Leader of the Year. This award recognizes exceptional BA leaders, demonstrating their leadership in the business analysis field, and those who drive the positive change, who foster innovation, who empower their teams of business analysts to achieve their remarkable success. And leaders are recognized as an example of a true leader. So we cover not just their business analysis skill, but we also look at their vision and collaboration skills and ability to inspire others. So if it feels like if you think that your leader is a great example of this. You can also nominate your leader. I forgot to mention that some award categories are available for one person nomination and some are group nominations. So the previous, the emerging business analyst is a single person nomination. The business analysis leader is also only one person can nominate, but there are awards where you can go as a group rather than an individual. We'll get to them later. The next category is also an individual nomination, and it is one of the greatest amongst the others, which are all of them great, but this is recognizing the Business Analyst of the Year, and it was named for Dr. Cicely McDougall, who was a champion of change, and she's been in that area for many years and contributed a lot with her wisdom, authenticity, and generosity. And she was a kind of an example of a true business analyst, a professional, remarkable person. So that it would be the qualities we're looking for those nominating for the Business Analyst of the Year award. Those who are have demonstrated through the year contribution to the profession and deliver remarkable results. So, and again, as for any award, the selection criteria will be listed when you nominate. So you would have a good understanding of what are we asking for. And the recognition also we will also be looking to recognize um, your inputs to elevate the practice amongst the business analysis field globally, so your community, not just within your company. If you have any questions on the what category that I'm sharing, then please put them in the chat. I'll answer them later. We move on to the next category, which is a group category. And this is a practice, BA practice of the year. So this can be a joint nomination. I will be looking for a practice, making a contribution and showcasing the BA skills and achieving particular results, driving the organizational change and inspiring other BAs to follow the lead. And the next one is also open for either individuals or teams or even projects, and it's called Innovation of the Year. It is one of the hardest to get nomination, but also one of the honorable one, when we will be recognizing the BAs participating in a team or project or as individuals who overcome particular and address particular challenges, and how innovation drove them through those and lead to improvements for their project's organization. So we'll look at your ability to drive the change and to inspire future BAs. Yep. With this, I will very quickly cover the nomination process. It is very straightforward. You go to that link. I will post in the chat once I finish presenting. You click on the award nomination, look at the categories description, find the one that's suitable. You can nominate for more than one, it's okay, but just maybe concentrating on one is recommended, but you can nominate in multiple. You download the nomination form through that link, fill it in, and you will then get informed of the outcomes. The process is pretty straightforward. I'll cover it a little bit later, and the due dates as well. But before we go there, I'll also call out for judge nominations. If you feel like you want to contribute to BA profession and you have strong understanding of what it's all about, please, there's the same link there is to nominate as a judge. So please share your experience, shape the future of business analysis, be acknowledged, have fun with your colleagues whilst you're doing the actual judgment process and network, and contribute to the future of business analysis. The nominations for the judges are closed at the end of June. So you still got more than a month to think about it and nominate yourself. And we, as always, we're looking for sponsors. We're a volunteer organization. So if you feel like your organization is in the position to support, we encourage you to join and click the link and express your interest. This is not a huge burden for the organization to sponsor that particular event. So, yep, if you feel like it, please do. I'll quickly touch base on the key dates, but those are also available on the website. If you don't get anything, that's fine. You can always find them on the website. There's enough time for you to think and nominate. So the call for judges that I mentioned closes on the 13th of June, and then we will announce the panel of judges in early in July, on the 9th of July. The nomination for the award submissions keeps open until 4th of August. Once we close, we would go straight into the first round of judging, which is the selection of the finalists. And that will happen on the 21st of August. The first round of judging will be closed and the finalists will be announced. The finalists will be contacted for their finalist interviews. The interviews will happen in September from 10th to 9th to 19th. And then by the 1st of October, we will announce our finalists. We won't announce the winners yet. So the winners will be announced at our conference, which is called FOBA, Festival of Business Analysis. So that if the winners are able to attend the actual award nomination, they can do it in person. Otherwise, we will also do an online presentation. Okay, I think with this, we can move on to introducing our panelists today. So we have today with us Krishna, who is the past year, the 2024 winner as a business analyst leader of the year. And his practice is also a winner of the business analysis practice of the year. So it's a pretty impressive achievement. Thanks, Krishna, for your hard work last year.
Thank you. Yeah.
Yeah. And we also have Catherine Claudia with us. Catherine has won the BA of the Year last year, which is also a great achievement. Thanks for joining us, Catherine. Here with us, we've got Corner. He won the Emerging BA of the Year. He's a very courageous guy to put his hand up as a new in the business analysis profession. So thanks for joining us, Connor, as well. And we also have two judges from last year. We have Eravan and Marina, who will be more addressing the questions from the judge perspective. Okay, with this, we will move on to our question and answer session. I can see there's one question already, but before we go to the questions, let me give a couple of minutes for each of our valuable panelists to introduce themselves, because I did a very brief one. So you've got now the time to quickly cover a little bit of yourself, and then we'll move on to questions. So we'll start from Krishna, and then we'll hand over to each, a given opportunity to each of you. Thank you.
Thank you, Anastasia. Hello, all. Welcome for this exciting event. I would say I'm really lucky to grab two awards at the same year. One thing I would say it's a persistence. We have been a finalist in 2023 round for the practice of the award. But still we didn't lose heart. So our team is amazing. So we kept trying. That's specifically on the practice of the year award when we were being successful in the 2024. And specifically on the leader of the year. To be honest, I didn't put up my hand. I was not planning to. It was my lead business analyst who was saying, okay, you have to try, you have done so much, let's give it a go. So to be honest, that's the honest answer. I was not intending to do it, but I said, okay, while I have some support from my entire team, let's go for it. And again, was surprising. I was a bit selected as well. So basically about my role, I'm leading the business analysis practice at WorkSafe Victoria. WorkSafe Victoria is the state regulator for two regions. One is health and safety within the state of Victoria, and as well as a regulator for workers' compensation insurance, work cover insurance. It's kind of a dual regulator, which we don't have anywhere in the world. It's a bit unique organization. So it's really proud to lead the business analyst team. We have about 35 business analysts working across multiple initiatives across the organization. So really proud to lead the team, and we are achieving quite a lot of things in this year as well. So yeah, thank you very much.
Thanks for introducing Krishna. That's a unique organization with some unique people working in there.
Yeah.
So we'll move on to Catherine, if you can please introduce yourself.
Yes, hello everyone. My name is Catherine Berrosco, and thank you for having me tonight. I work at Bangues, and right now it's 3:40 at her time, so we are based in Perth. And a similar story from Krishna, I had been nominated by my company, by Bangues, and it has been really an honor and a pleasure to participate in this process and be awarded as the BA of the Year for 2024. I had been a BA for over 10 years so far, and I had been also a BA lead in some moment of my career, and currently I am working as a senior product owner at Bangues, leading a digital team on the mobile app side. So yes, has been an amazing journey being a BA. I always say I will be a BA forever in my heart, because these foundational skills and core skills are so handy and make the difference really within other product people as well. So yes, I'm happy to be here today.
Great. Sounds like a dream came true. Thanks, Krishna. Connor, would you mind introducing yourself and talk a little bit of what you're doing and where?
Of
Thank you.
course. No, thank you. Thank you for welcoming me today. Yeah, my name's Connor. I was the Emerging Business Analyst of the Year last year. Really, at the time, I was absorbing anything and everything, to do with business analysis and through the IIBA. So when the opportunity came up to apply for the award, it was just another opportunity I saw that I really had to go for. That was really my year of just doing everything I can to sort of get myself into the business analyst role, which I was at Empower Wealth, and sort of absorbing as much as I could to be the best business analyst I can. But now I'm actually a product manager still at Empower Wealth. So I think really, the role that I did as a business analyst, and then also through things like the IIBA, really helped sort of position me to show the company how much work I was putting in to deliver value and provide opportunity where I could find it. So, yeah, it really has been beneficial to me, not only the award itself, but the experience going through it as well. So, I definitely encourage any new starters to apply.
Yeah. Thank you very much for sharing. And yeah, it sounds like a great success story as well to move to the next position within a year. Yep. We'll talk a little bit about this, how it helped your career a little bit later. But before this, I also want to introduce our judges. So, everyone, do you want to go first?
Hello, thank you for having me, Anastasia. And hello for everyone online. So my name is Erivan. I live in Brisbane. I'm Brazilian, now Australian, and I have 16 years, over 16 years of experience working business analysts, mostly IT business analysts. But I have working under the position as project manager, business analyst lead, agile delivery lead. So I have been working more in soft development and applying business analysis over the 16 years. And also I have some certifications, including CBAP for almost 10 years now. Um, and I have been participating in this amazing award for the last 2 years, 23 and 24. I have been participating as a judge, and has been a pleasure identify and recognize the talent in this analysis. Thank you, Anastasia.
Thank you very much. We're looking forward to see if you nominate for 25s and 35 and so on. The last but not the least at all, Marina is also our judge for the last year. Please, can you please talk a little bit about yourself? Thank you.
Yeah, absolutely. Hi, everyone. My name's Marina, and there's no company under there. I'd like to say it's some secret. I work for the CIA, but I don't. I work for a closed community company called The Jungle that represents probably about 500 people, like a talent agency across the world. And a big part of our community are actually skilled business analysts. The reason I just wanted to make a quick just a credibility check. I first came across business analysts in my previous roles. I used to be head of re-engineering and all those types of things for large banks. And I first came across business analysts, inverted commas, about 20, 25 years ago when I inherited like 42 of them as a part of my role. And it was probably my first real introduction of what an incredible profession it could be, and the extraordinary impact that skills, if you get a bunch of really enthusiastic people and then you add some great skills and framework, what they can do to an organisation, and also if they're not cared for and they sort of have left in the corner, how demotivating it is. After that experience, I became pretty passionate about skills, training, recognition for the analyst community. And even now, as a managing director, I still have a soft spot for our analysts. I always listen to them. I'm probably one of the ones that the converted group. And I think I can speak pretty genuinely when I put my hand on my heart. I know how powerful good business analysts are and what an undervalued resource they are in organisations. So when the opportunity became a judge, often I was like, yeah, I'll give it a go. I'll fit it in. So, and I'm just so glad I did. It's been amazing.
Thank you very much, Marina. It's music to my ears to hear how valued business analysis and analysts are in your organization. So I wish every organization accept that approach. But we will move on to the questions. The first one we have in the chat, so we'll answer this first and then we'll move on to further. So Xavier is asking us about a little bit of the process. When people are applying, and obviously not everyone will become a finalist and a winner at the end, do we have they received any feedback on why and where they were weaker, not considered for the finalist of the award? Do you as judges provide that kind of feedback? And I'm probably looking at Marina and Aravan there.
Okay. So we do a debrief after each interview. That was our experience this past round, where I think I interviewed you, Christian, didn't I? I think I was on your panel. I'm pretty sure I was. So anyway, so after the applicant would come in, we would then debrief and then just talk about our own views of it and then go away and then submit our own views. So we had a bit together and then in the interest of impartiality, provide our own views by ourselves on it. I cannot speak with genuine confidence to see whether the feedback of those who weren't successful flowed all the way through. But if it has, then I think that's a real opportunity for going forward.
Yeah, good. Aaron, do you want to add anything?
Yeah, and that goes for also the who want to nominate themselves as a judge. The process is very direct, and we do not see all applications. The application that and in all hands, only the application that has already passed for some criteria and was selected. We can provide some notes. But we don't contact directly the candidates to provide this feedback, these notes. We pass. There is people who organize that, and they are informed about the process. And if you are selected for interview, that is a live conversation. You get for prompt from the judge what they usually is a conversation that go very easily, and we usually provide direct if they have any questions But we try be partial on this anything that will comment during these interviews, because we don't want to give any sensation of the candidate if you are pass or no before we regroup and decide together.
Yeah, that's a great, actually. Thanks for answering. That's a great take on for this year awards. To provide more feedback to the nominees if they're seeking for it. But what the other thing I would say, if you want that feedback, you nominate and you're waiting for a feedback, just reach out and ask, and the feedback will always be provided, because there are some notes and there are some judges do have some notes when they interview.
Yeah, I could add that even for us, when you have some question, everyone who work in the process, they are very quick to give a response to us. So if you have a participate and you want to understand more about the process, I think IIBA and who organize the hours, they are open to receive your question and pass forward and provide an answer.
Yeah, always. Obviously, we're here for a reason. We are volunteering our effort to make it great. So yeah, feedback is always welcomed. So we will move on to the next one, and this would be more for our winners now. What difference do you think that winning the award last year has made to your career? And I would like to start from Corner there, and then we'll give opportunities to others as well.
Yeah, great. Thank you. That's a good question. I think one of the big things for me, I mean, there's definitely it's not only just for your career, but even on a personal level, like you do get quite a lot of satisfaction in the body of work that you've put in for that last year and beyond. Just having the acknowledgement that you've done a good job and sort of giving yourself a pat on the back for that really did sort of boost the confidence. Particularly as a early stage BA, it can be quite a brutal world out there these days for a young BA. So having that support, and then just the opportunity for other BAs to reach out and sort of get that exposure to BAs that you wouldn't necessarily come into contact with. I don't have any BAs in my company, so the IIBA and any sort of the BAs that reach out to me directly because the award, they see me around at the events and whatnot. That is probably the biggest benefit I've had of the award, definitely. Just the exposure to the community.
Yeah, great. Thanks, Connor. Catherine, do you have any other personal insight into that impact on your career?
Yes, I mean, quite similar to Connor. I feel it's more that apart from my professional growth within my company in general, within the market, because this position you as a leader on this profession, on the BA profession, is also the impact on the community. And I had received many messages from different BAs and people from per market trying to reach out to understand a little bit more about the process, about also how they can upskill themselves. Because in my case, when I put my application forward, I was very focused on like the T-shaped skill. For example, we are BAs, core BAs, but also we need to be able to show adaptability and growth mindset as well, and how as a BA we can move into different professions or roles within a company as well. And I feel what I received from the community is what this interest and this focus on my own career as well, and my own journey as a BA, how I had grown in different areas as well and got exposure to different roles. So I feel like this recognition has made a huge impact in general on my career. Also, provide more credibility on the role that I perform within my organization, but also in the market in general. And of course, it had came with, a nice, opportunity to deliver now a product leader role within my organization as well. And yes, it's just, I believe always that the BA is always this quiet role within the development team, is always seen as an advisor, and usually who takes credit on the job is, the PO, the PN, and sometimes the tech leads. And I feel like this is a great opportunity to showcase all the talent that we had in Australia in the BA area.
Yeah, very true. That is your chance to shine, not only within your organization, but also outside. Yeah, thanks, Catherine. Krishna, you've got two awards at your hands. So what impact would it have? Double,
See,
double the impact.
see, we are in a government environment, so to be honest, doesn't make a major impact, but yes, does make a difference from the individual's perspective in the sense that it reassures that we are doing the right thing, one, and also bringing the credibility of the analysis work which we do across the organization. That's more important from the practice perspective. And also every individual has a, it's a bit of a pat on the back, as Conan mentioned, right? Yep, we are doing the right thing, and we have an assurance from the practice perspective, and we have the right tools and techniques people are following. So that's a overall broad statement, I would say. But as an individual level, if people from the career perspective, right, if people can still flash their bag and the badge whenever they go out, say, yep, I was part of the excellent practice which won the award, which kind of reiterates that, their skills level as well. Because the judging, when you look at the judges, the criteria which they look up for the practice award as well, it also targets the individuals as a whole.
Yeah, great to hear. Yeah, and I probably I would think that being a finalist, not even the winner, because you've mentioned you were there before, was also a great achievement and a pat at the back. Thanks. We move on to the next question. We do have a few, and the time is a little bit running out, but no panic yet. Sharif is asking, from a candidate perspective, do they need an approval or at least a consent from their manager or some supervisor before applying? I think Sharif's got some concern about sharing the data related to their project or analysis result as part of the application. Thinking who would be the best to answer this one. Krishna, probably because you want the practice one,
Yeah.
that you probably be the closest.
Yeah, I would say it is good and to be transparent with your leadership, so that you get a buy-in as well. It's a pride, I would say. It is always good to have the buy-in from the leadership. That's one. Second aspect of data sharing, it is not required to share any sensitive or critical information. Absolutely not required. You can still kind of relate to it and unmask information. I think in the application it doesn't ask for lot of data. As long as, again, as I said, if you are in the finalist and if you are being interviewed, at that point, you can still voice over the information. You don't need to record and put it black and white. I've done that, so it's not required to, share any personal, sensitive, no information at all.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. And it's just, yeah, sorry, I'll give you the chance. Just before we move on, I wanted to say that if you're thinking and that's your concern, I would encourage you to jump on the website and download the nomination form and have a look at it. It will probably answer this concern that there's no personal or project information related. So you can always make it like very generic as long as we can see the skills there that you've demonstrated.
Anastasia,
Sorry, someone was going to add?
I just want to point out that individual applicants, they should receive a testimonial from a senior leader, supervisor, or mentor. So in that case, probably you need to communicate to your manager, your mentor, your leader, so they can provide the testimonial for your application.
Yep, but it doesn't have to be your direct leader. So typically it is your direct leader or the senior leader, but it can also be a mentor who would kind of recommend you. Yeah, thank you. Thanks for adding this. So we move on to the next one, and it's pretty interesting because it's coming from a slightly different angle. And I'll open the free floor for everyone to get your ideas. So how can we promote more people from New Zealand to participate and nominate? I don't think last year, but the year before, we definitely have some very good income from interest from New Zealand, and the winners, there was a winner from New Zealand for sure. So maybe raise your hand if you have any ideas. And yep, Krishna, go ahead with your ideas.
Yeah, not specifically on New Zealand. This is across, it applies across, right? So that socialization and publicity of the awards and the value it brings in, that's more important. Within your network, you can share widely, what make difference it makes. So that's the important part. It doesn't apply which country it is, right? Again, from our side, what we do, we have in the Geelong regional where we are coming from, we have a strong community of business analysis. So we do our community of practice every quarterly. So sharing that information across. So that's the critical part, right? So that publicity, marketing, as I said, everyone does, marketing is important, but marketing doesn't reach all the nook and corner of the business. So that within your network, keep sharing that. That's a critical part which gets to the point.
Yeah. Pat someone on the back and say, you know what, maybe you need to nominate yourself. You've done a great job. And even if the person thinks, oh, I'm just doing my job properly, that is that is the reason to apply. And you never know what you uncover once you apply. Yep. Thanks for.
I just like to add to what Krishnan just said. The act of nominating or recognising someone transcends, the countries or even the profession to a degree. But there is something incredibly flattering and validating when you get nominated for an award. And maybe there's something that could be said from, midline managers about not necessarily the BA aspect, but the abstract idea of the act of nominating someone for peer recognition. I think it's a really powerful thing, and people just resonate to it. They're just like, oh my gosh, and I think that might be a different angle to allow New Zealand and Australia, but to really lift up and reach into the true power of these awards. That's my 2 cents.
Yep. Thank you. We have time for one more question, so we'll go for it. And that would be for our winners. Based on your experience from last year, which advice would you give to this year nominees to help them for their submission to really shine and show great? What is your advice? And I'll start from Catherine. Can you start the conversation? Thank you.
Yes, of course. And I feel like there is a couple of variables there. I feel the first one is, of course, for me was very important to get the support from my manager and my leader back then. So that's one thing. The second part was to pick the right project. And I feel I spent a lot of time thinking about which project I should put forward on my application, because I had done very, very technical projects that I'm very proud of, and I can talk hours and hours, even write many, many words about this. But then also I had work in projects that are very like customer facing, for say something, or very trendy in the market, like very focused on AI, or yes, AI embedded into mobile app applications. So then I decided to put a project that was more customer facing, because I know also it will be easy to understand when I am explaining this in a judge panel, or when I am writing. It's more like, it will make sense for the readers to rely, oh, okay, this is what is happening on the mobile app. This is the process that she's trying to automate. So I feel like that's probably the 2 key parts from my side. But also there is a section that you need to talk about your challenge that you are going through, or you had been through in your previous project. And I feel for me it was important to be like honest and authentic on my challenge, because I feel everyone goes through different challenge, right? Could be stakeholder management, could be that it's a very technical project, could be that the scope of work is not very well defined. I don't know what is your current situation, but I feel like you should address this challenge with authenticity and honesty. And I feel like this will give you a lot of space, and also open eye conversation with the judging panel as well. But yes, I feel that's probably my main takeaways from what really helped me to be successful on my application and move forward to the judging panel as well.
Yeah, thank you very much. I think that's very useful insights for the future nominees and hopefully future winners. Connor, do you want to add a little bit from your perspective?
Yeah, I think I would just my advice would be to take the opportunity to reflect. I think it's when you're really in the thick of the work or projects and so forth, you often don't take time to reflect and think about the input that you actually had on the project and the results and so forth. So yeah, I would really just take your time with your application, maybe really split your time across all the different questions and so forth, and then really think through your answers and what you've done and why you think you should win the award, essentially.
Yep, great advice. Approach with it with a planned approach, like a business analyst will do.
Exactly.
Thank you.
So,
Krishna, do you want to add your insight there?
yeah,
For
I just second what Connor said and Catherine said, and also look at the comments Marina said. Absolutely. I have 3 points to that. Being authentic, that's very important, right? That's the first thing, genuinely being what you have done, put down what you have done. The second point is you would have done umpty number of things, top 10, 20, but focus on the top 3 or 5. So that's identify what is the critical thinking. And as business analysts, we are good at identifying what is the critical thing. Narrow down on those top things, 3 or 5 things. And the last bit is, look at the challenges of those top 3 and the solutions, what you have done, and the outcomes, which is more important. So kind of categorize these, when you start putting it down black and white of the challenges and the solution and the outcome, that makes a big difference. You might filter down of the 10 things you have done. When you start writing these under these 3 categories, you'll say, oh, okay. Filtering down, you kind of narrow down your number of top things. So those are the 3 things I would say really, being authentic. So that will help you to answer in a genuine way when you're sitting before the panel of judges. It should come flow through. Don't cook up, don't use your AI, please. No, absolutely no. So that's very important.
yeah, thank you. Being authentic is a big thing. Yeah. Thank you, everyone. Unfortunately, we've reached the time limit. I could have gone that conversation flowing and flowing, but we have to conclude that session. Reach out if you have any questions. For those watching that as a recording, if you have any question, you can still write to IIBA. There's on the website, there's a contact how to reach to us. Thanks, everyone. Thanks for your valuable time. I was very pleased to hear and see you all again, or see you for the first time. I'm pretty sure I've seen all of you, but yeah, that was my pleasure. Thanks for everyone who joined us. And yeah, good luck for the future nominees.
Yep. Thank you. All the best for everyone.
All the
Cheers.
best.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
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 Good luck. Good luck. See you.
Yeah. See ya.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
See you.
Bye.